Good evening, teacher.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? How was your vaccination last week?
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, Prao. How was your vaccination last week? Did it go well?
Yeah,
Okay, good to know. Are you coming here next week to study here in school or not?
yeah.
All of you?
No,
No, not everyone. Okay. Okay, so let's wait for others before we start. Okay, 8 students. Let's wait for another minute. Who is Poon? Poon, this is not your class. By the way, do you have your handouts with you already? Do you have it, your worksheet in computer? Do you have it, yes or no? Okay, so I think I'm talking to myself again. Students, do you have your handouts with you already? Yes or no?
I didn't have.
Okay, how about the others? If the answer is yes, answer yes. If the answer is no, answer no. Simple. Okay, so I think everybody will be absent. Only Bas is present. Base is present because no one is answering me. I don't know why.
Just say again.
I'm asking if you have your handouts with you already. Yes or no? Worksheet in computer. You are testing my patience again. Do you have it? Yes or no? Win, Kaimuk, Sirirat, Prao, Alex,
Yes.
Pat. Oh, is it difficult to answer yes or no? What are you, Anuban students? If you don't want to answer, if you don't want to study, then don't come in the class. It's useless that you are here and then you are not answering. It is our first meeting because we did not meet last week. Okay, so if you have your handouts with you, everybody please open to page 1 because we will start with our discussion. So our topic is all about data lists in Scratch. Okay, so for the whole midterm period, we will study about Scratch. Okay, so we will use Scratch as our programming tool for this topic. Okay, so what do you mean when you say list? Who can read? What is list? Anyone? What is a list?
Alice also called it an array in other programming language.
What else?
It's a
That is not
tool
the
that can be used to store, multiply,
multiple pieces
of conformation at one.
Okay, thank you, Base. What else? What else is the definition? Base, stop reading because you are done already. I would like to have another student to read the next statement. Anyone? I will wait for you, even if it will, I will wait for like 10 minutes. It's okay. Actually, it's your loss, not mine, if you will not learn anything. Yes, what else? Aside from what Base said or read, what is a list?
List consists of number paired which item. Each item can be retrieved by its price number.
Paired. Mhm.
Per number in simple word. A list can hold many values instead
Okay.
of just one.
Okay, so list is like a variable. If you can still remember, last time we studied about variables like num1, num2, or name, or whatever variables we have. Okay, so list is like that. But a variable in Scratch can only hold one item. List, however, can hold many items. Okay, so it can hold more than one items. I'm not sure what's the limit in Scratch, but it can hold many or a lot of items. Okay, so that is list. It is also called an array in other programming languages, and it can be also defined as a variable containing multiple other variables. Okay, so here in Scratch, we have the list of blocks. Okay, you can find there on page 1 of your handouts if you have it there with you. So these are some of the list blocks that we can use to create, to add something on a list, to create, to hide, to show, to replace an item, or to delete an item in a list. Okay, so this one first is the add. Okay, add block, which is used for, what's the purpose of the add thing to the list block? What is it for? Anyone?
As an item to a list.
Okay, so it adds an item to a list. So for example, if you want to add something in the list, okay, so you can use this block. Another block that we have is the delete block. Okay, so what is this for?
Delete a chosen item of a list.
Okay, so delete a chosen item on a list or in a list. Okay, so it's self-explanatory because it is a delete block. Okay, also we have the insert here, which is used to insert an item at a chosen point in a list. Okay, so for example, you have 5 lists and you want to insert something in between. Okay, another item in between, you can use this one. And then we have the replace item. What do you mean when you say replace? What is replace? What do you mean by it? Replace.
Instead.
Huh?
Instead.
Instead, or replace means you will change, right? Okay, so replace item, blah, 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 with thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it replaces an item in a list with a new item. So it's like changing. Okay, so for example, you have 5 items in your list and then you want to change the third one, then you can change this one. Okay, or you can use this block. And then the list block, we have this one also. It has few uses. However, this can be used as a stage monitor. Okay, and then we have the other set of blocks here. And also we have the show and hide list, which are used to show and hide hide list in Scratch. Okay, so these are some of the blocks that we can use to for our list in Scratch. Okay, so I will stop the sharing because I will open Scratch. So please open Scratch also there on your device, students. Okay, if you don't have Scratch on your computer, you can go to scratch.mit.edu. You can access Scratch online. Okay, so please do it now. Open your browser. You can use your iPad for this one if you are using the online version of Scratch. Okay, I will annotate the link here. So we have Scratch. Oops, wrong spelling. Scratch.mit.edu. Okay, so this is the website that you will go to access Scratch. Okay. Is your Scratch open now? Yes or no?
Yes.
How about the others? You need to do this one because I will require you to send it until tonight. So you need to do the activity. Okay, students, so how do you create a list in Scratch? In order for you to create a list or to make a list in Scratch, all you need to do is to go to, okay, let me have the spotlight tool first. Okay, all you need to do is to go to variables, and then here you can see make a list. As of now, we don't have the list blocks that we have discussed earlier because we need to create a list first. Okay, so in order to create a list, all you need to do is to click make a list. Okay, and then for example, the name of the list would be list practice. Okay, and then once you click OK, students, you will have your list here. Okay, so do you have this one with you already? By the way, you can move the list anywhere on the screen. Do you have like this with you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, I hope others too. Okay, so from here, students, you can add items in the list manually. Okay, so all you need to, you can do like this. You can click add here, and then after that, you can type, for example, A. And then you can just press enter to add another B, C, D, E, F, and so on and so forth. You can do this one. And also you can manually delete the items here. Okay. So that is how you can add and you can delete items in a list. Okay, manually. Okay, meaning you will type it. Okay, and also students, you can do it automatically. Okay, all you need to do is to use this one, the add thing block. Okay, so for example, you want to insert the word apple. Okay, so all you need to do is to do that, and when you use this block, the apple will be added. But of course, students, you need to add some trigger, like when green flag is clicked or when go is clicked, then it will add that item in the list. Okay? Understand about this one? Yes or no? Okay, so I think you're still doing it. Okay, so that's it, students. Again, you can manually delete it here. Okay, so that is how you can add items in a list manually and automatically. Okay, also students, for example, if you don't want the list to be on the screen once you when the program doesn't start yet, all you need to do is to uncheck this one here. Okay, uncheck this one, and then the list will be hidden. But if you want to show it once the program starts, all you need to do is to use this block. When green flag is clicked, then after that, go to your list blocks, and then what are you going to use here? What do you think to show the list? Anyone? What should you
Show
use? Okay, show list. Very good. Okay, and then after that, when you click on go, then the list will be shown. Okay. And also we have also here the hide list. Okay, this is used if you want to hide the list, any list. Okay, and if you have many lists, by the way, students, you can create as many lists as possible. Okay, so you can just choose here the list that you want to show or hide. Okay, and then the program will do the rest. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Yes or no?
no.
No. Okay, so to create another list, students, all you need to do is to click make a list again, and then there will be, or you can create another list. Okay, so for example, I will create list 2. Okay, after that, another list will come out here. Okay, so that's it. Okay, basically, students, before you code, please create your list. Create your list first. Okay, and then code. Okay, so that's it. If you want to delete the list, all you need to do is to right click on the list that you have created, delete list, and also you can rename the list if you want to. Okay, understand?
Yes.
Okay, now, for example, when you sign in on Facebook, the app asks you to enter your username or password, right? For example, we would like to ask the user of the program to enter an item on a list. How do you think we can do that? I think last time we discussed this one already. How do you ask the user to enter something? Like, for example, if you want, or your program is about adding 2 numbers, so you will ask the user to enter the first number and the second number. How do you do that in Scratch again? How do you do that in Scratch? Anyone? Or I will just change it to first name, last name first. First name, last name. Students, how do you ask the user to enter something? How do you do that? Anyone? How do you ask the user to enter something? For example, you will ask the user to enter your name. How do you do that in Scratch? Anyone? Students, you have the internet, you can research so that you can answer. You can use the internet when I'm asking you when I'm asking you a question. So my question is, how do you ask the user to enter something in Scratch? Anyone? I will wait for your answer. Kauklong, P, Plawarn, Pat, Otto, Pang, Prow. We also have Win, Dean, Kaimuk, Alex, Base. No one will answer me, even just one from you, one of you. How do you ask the user to enter something in Scratch? For example, enter your name. How do you do that? How would you make this character ask you your name or enter your name? What should you do or how should you do it? I taught you this one already. This one is very easy.
Change the sprite.
You don't need to change the sprite. It will do on any of the sprite, Kaimuk. How would you make this character say something? How do you make, it's like you will make this character say something or ask you something. And then you will type the answer. How would you do that here in Scratch? It's not here, the answer is not here, it's on the other groups here. How do you do that? Please explore Scratch there, students. The answer is very easy.
Quick looks.
Under looks, okay, that is say. Okay, the Scratch will just say the character will just say something, but it will not ask you to enter something. Say is just say. How about if you want the user or the character to ask you to enter something? How would you do that? Yes?
Sensing, I think.
Yes, you need to go to sensing and then what
Ask.
block are you going? Yes, ask. Exactly. Okay, so you can use the ask what's your name block. Okay, but of course, students, you need to have some trigger. Okay, so you need to have this one. Okay, when go is clicked or when the green flag is clicked, okay, then the character will ask you, what's your name? Okay. And you can change this one to any question. Okay, so I changed the names of the list here to first name and last name. Okay, so we will have the first name first. Okay, so for example, what's your first name? What's your first name? Okay, so when I click the green flag, then what's your first name? Okay, and then I will type, for example, Romeo, and then enter. Now, where is the answer? Where did the answer go?
Sensing and answer.
Okay, so the answer is here, but where are you going to put this one? In order for you to keep the answer, students, you need to have something. And what is that? How do you keep the answer in Scratch? For example, before we have like num1, num2, right? So when the user enters the first number, it will be stored in num1. And if the user enters the second number, it will be stored in num2. So what do you call those num1 and num2? What are those? Starts with letter V. What do you call that? It starts with letter V. I'm waiting. Students, we are wasting time here already. What should you make so that you can store the answer? Right now, the answer is here, but you need to store it somewhere else. What do you need to do? Okay, so I will give you the answer. You need to create a variable for this one. Okay, so to create a variable, just go to this one. Okay, go to variables group and then make a variable for the data that you are collecting. So for example, we are collecting the first name. So we can make a variable first name. And then after that, you can use the set block. Okay, set first name to answer. So whatever the answer of the user is, it will be stored here in the first name variable. Okay, so let's run the program and then type ABC. Okay, so when you press enter on your keyboard, take note that the value here of first name is now ABC. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, now, how about the code if you want to store this first name into the list? What will you do? How would you do that? Right now, it's here in a variable. But what if you want to store it inside of a list or in a list? How would you do that? How would you add the first name ABC here? Anyone?
Add thing to first name.
Okay, so you will add thing to first name. Okay, and then what else you need to change here? You need to change something here. So what should you add here? You will add, okay, the answer of the user, right? So the answer of the user is stored in a variable. Okay, so now what should you put here inside of this one so that ABC will be added here? Because if you will just say thing here, the answer will not be added. The thing will be added, okay? ABC. That's what you can see. It's not ABC, it's a thing. Okay, so how can you make this ABC here? How would you do that? What will you put inside of this one white area here? Anyone? Where did you store the answer of the user?
Sensing.
Really? You need to have a variable here. Where did you keep the answer? You stored it in a variable, right? You kept it in a variable. So what is the name of the variable where you stored the answer? What's the name? What is the name of the variable, students? The answer is very, very easy.
My
Yes.
variable.
No, it's not my variable. What's the answer? What's the name of the variable where we stored the answer from here? What is the name of the variable?
First name.
First name, exactly. Okay, so that's it. ABC. And then ABC here will be added. Okay? Now, students, how would you create another set that will ask the user to enter for his or her last name? How would you do that? You have now the code for the first name. How about for the last name? How would you do it? Anyone? Students, the code is the same for the first name and the last name. How would you do it?
Copy and duplicate and change again.
Yes. Right click and then duplicate. Okay, what are you going to change here? What are you going to change with this code?
What's your second name?
Okay, what's your second name? What else? What else should you change? Should you create another variable for the second name? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you need to create another variable. And how do you create a variable? How would you do that?
Make a variable.
Okay, make a variable and name it last name. What's your second name? What's your last name? Sorry. Last name. Sorry, students. I will change it. What is your last name? Okay. And then after that, you will need to change this one to last name and then change also this one to last name. Okay. So let's clear the list. Okay. So for example, ABC for the first name. And then after that, it will ask you for your last name. So for example, the last name is DEF. And then it will be stored to last name. Sorry, I forgot to change this one. Sorry. Okay, ABC, DEF. Okay, so as what you can see, you have it here now. Okay, and also students, for example, if you want to make your list like to delete anything in your list when you start the program, all you need to do is to have this one, delete all of first name and delete all of last name. So once you have this one and you run your program, and when you start the program, all the items will be deleted. Okay? Understand?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the code for the activity for today, but I have another extra work for you to do. Okay, I would like you to modify this code and ask or make this character ask you 5 times about your first name, 10 times about your first name and last name. So that means there will be 10 first names and then 10 last names. That would be the challenge for you. How would you do this one so that the character will ask you for your first name and last name 10 times? Okay, so that would be your homework until 12 midnight only, because this one is very, very easy. Okay, and then students, I would like you to save your file and send it to our line group. Okay, file, and then save to your computer, and then save it wherever you want to save it on your computer. And then please make sure do not delete the .sb3. Okay, change it to your nickname. Okay, nickname underscore, what's the title of this activity? List. Okay, list 1. Okay, so this will be the last name, the file name of your file, nickname underscore list 1. Again, make this character ask you 10 times to enter your first name and last name. Do you understand?
Yes.
Any questions? No questions? Okay, so students, that is all for today. Please do not forget to send your work until 12 midnight, tonight only. Okay, until 12 midnight. Late submissions will not be accepted. Okay, and for next week, we will study more about list. I hope most of you will come here because I think this one is easier to teach if we are studying face-to-face. Okay? Okay, so let me stop the sharing now. Okay, students, so that's all. I will see you again next week. Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe and have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Welcome.
Thank you, teacher.